If I don't get any writing done, I'm gonna be so mad. I'm trying to finish this book. Okay. Book 2 syndrome. Writing did not go well. I have nothing against this book. It's just like, I think my brain is getting sick and tired. I didn't write something. And I'm like, no girl, that's for book 3. Like, relax.
Everybody knows that I was crazy over you. Call me Cupid, call me stupid.
Hey guys, it is a Tuesday and I am freezing cold. Hey guys, welcome to a writing vlog where I shiver my ass off and drink this cup of tea. It's been really cold in Toronto. I mean, like, you know, it's January. I have really been wanting to do some drafting of my novel Sunless Ground. I started a new job last week, so I haven't really seriously been looking at writing just because I've been focusing more on that and adjusting my routine to that and everything. But I don't have to work until later this evening. I've been just playing Stardew all day. My friend got me Stardew and I've been really into it. So I've been playing it every day and it's really fun. And my character in Stardew is actually Harrison, my character in my novel. So he has a farm called Mothwork Farm, one of my novels. If you don't know anything about me, I have been working on a contemporary fantasy novel called Sunless Ground, which is the sequel to Seventh Virtue. So it's a series. I've been working on it for over a year now. It's at 200,000 words and I kind of want to eat through the rest of this chapter. For some reason, I had it in my mind that the chapter I ended on, I have 2 point of view characters and the point of view character I ended on with was Reeve. I thought I'd finished that chapter, but then I checked my notes and actually I had told myself to write another scene. That means I actually am going to do some drafting right now. Last night, in sort of a stroke of missing Reeve, my favorite character ever, I love her so much, I ended up writing the first line of the scene. I have a good starting off point here. Hello, so it is the 25th of January. I have sat down to write. It is 9:30 at night. Had the second day of Garth Greenwell's How to Write Sex class, which was really interesting. I was playing a lot of Stardew because this one was a little bit more conversational, I think. So I wasn't taking as many notes. I still came out with a bunch of notes, but that was nice. But I have been meaning to write since. Have I been obsessively playing Stardew to the point where I'm going through the seasons in one day? Yeah, I have been working on this bit in Sunless Ground. I'm trying to finish this book. Okay, I want to work on my literary fiction. And I just need to say goodbye to Sunless Ground for a little bit. So I'm hoping to finish it as soon as I can. But I had this idea for where I would kind of go in the book. I thought what was going to happen in this scene is
Callahan was going to go get Reeve to help Harrison with something. And Reeve and Harrison are fighting right now, so Callahan doing that was kind of controversial. But
it's just not working. I realized psychologically it's not super consistent. It doesn't really make sense. It's going to cause me some more issues than I thought. So
now I'm going back and I'm rewriting. So Callahan goes to Foster, who's Harrison's other best friend, for help.
So I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I know this sounds like overthinking, and I'm really trying not to overthink. So I'm going to just try to draft for a bit and then see if I give up in the next 5 minutes. Hello, so it is Sunday. Writing did not go well yesterday. You know how I said, let's see how fast it takes me to quit? Well, I quit really quickly. I realized something was just not quite right with my initial plan, like I was mentioning. And I was just kind of feeling a bit dejected, a little demotivated, I think, yesterday, because I was excited for this point of the book. I had felt very motivated to actually keep writing. But then when I realized that plan wasn't really going to work anymore, the kind of motivation left with it. So I kind of took it easy for the rest of the night and I actually shifted to reading. Like I said, Garth Greenwell had hosted the second and final installment of his How to Write Sex and Why class, and he had sent over a reading packet. I didn't get a chance to read it before the class, so I actually took some time to go through it last night when I just couldn't bother, and I was reading a lot of it out loud, which was nice. I mentioned in one of my other vlogs that one of the things that I've been doing is reading aloud in an RP accent. I really think of Katrina in Outlander. It helps me kind of go through the flows of writing. So that was fun to read other people's work out loud like that too, because I've been reading my work out loud like that. And it sort of motivated me to compile a reading list for when I draft my literary fiction novel, which doesn't have a title yet. I kind of shifted to that last night, sort of almost before midnight, and I read some of what I'd written out loud. I thought it was actually quite good. It's holding up. Someone is vacuuming upstairs, so you might hear a lot of noise. Now it is just about 1 o'clock on Sunday. I have to work tomorrow, so I would really actually like to get some work done today. It will sort of round out my weekend, I think. And I have the first paragraph of this new chapter with Harrison written, and I'm not quite sure like how to approach the scene. I don't really know exactly what's going to happen besides like the more high level pieces of what needs to happen. Hi everyone, it is the 4th of February, just past 10:30 in the evening. I work late on Tuesdays, so I'm really tired and I want to go to bed. Before I started working today, I was working on plotting out the end of Sunless Ground. Bane of my existence, love of my life, etc. I actually do really enjoy working on this book. I have nothing against this book. It's just like, I think my brain is getting sick and tired of following along this plot. It's been a very like book 2 syndrome book, which is not like a bad thing. I know a lot of people think book 2 syndrome is horrible, and in some cases like I get it. But I love usually like the second version of something. Second season of a TV show is always the best season in my opinion. And that's sort of how I feel about book 2s. I usually typically like them quite a bit. And I have really enjoyed Sunless Ground as a process. And I'm really interested to see how I'm going to feel when I'm kind of on the other side of drafting it, because I'm planning on taking a longer break between it and the third book as I sort of shift into literary fiction in the spring. I'm a pantser. I have an entire video on how I outline. It's going to be the exact same process. Now, the question of why am I outlining as a pantser? Toward the end of a book, I just usually get quite overwhelmed with the volume of ideas that sort of organically come to me. I don't actively brainstorm. I wish I could. It's just lately, it's not part of my process. For like the last few years, it has not been. So what happens is while I'm drafting, I will come up with ideas on the spot, and naturally that sort of fleshes out an entire plot. What I need to end up doing toward the end of a book is order them, because I start getting very, very overwhelmed with the quantity of my book that's been sort of ideated as I've gone along in the process. So I have a video linking that. I won't reiterate the whole process here. I just really need to go in and update my scene list. I did this last in August. I spent some time when I was on vacation in the US going through on like note cards, quite literally like outlining the book, like putting scenes where they needed to be so I could understand, okay, I have this, in order. I have this in order. I don't have to feel worried that I'm missing something or something. Especially toward the end of the book, I'm just like, okay, I need to just get this done, so I need to have an endpoint clearly defined. My sister and I had a quick brainstorm session after she got home from work and after I got off of work myself. And she kind of helped me figure out the direction for this chapter, this sort of like bachelorette party, not bachelorette number 1, okay, party that is going to happen in Reeves' next chapter, who's one of my narrators. I finished Harrison's chapter last night, which felt really, really nice. It came together really quickly. Honestly, the last few chapters I've written in his head have come together really quickly in comparison to that one Reeves chapter that took me 6 months. So as much as I complain about him, I really shouldn't here. So I also have figured out the direction for like how his chapter is probably going to work out too. So most of this is already in order. There are just a few scenes that sort of cropped up between August and now that I want to go weave in. So I kind of have a stronger understanding of what the end of this book is going to look like. And there still are going to be gaps, like just to make it clear. I don't want to know scene for scene, what is going to happen to the end of this book. That would be very overwhelming to me. So I'm just sort of ordering them, and when there are gaps, I just fill them in as I go. First course of action is going to be to delete any notes in the Sunless Ground notes document. I do have a document where I keep track of notes. Let's see how long it is. This one is currently 36,000 words long. For a pantser, I sure do have a lot of planning. I don't call myself a pantser just because I don't see process ever when I'm talking about it as black and white. So plants are just not a term that's in my vocabulary, but I know a lot of people use it. The foundation of how I write is pantsing. I'm gonna go in and delete all of the scenes that have to do with book 3. I have a video where I explain how I organize my writing documents. How I organize my notes document is it's quite literally like an entire brick of text. I don't do anything fancy. It is literally single space Times New Roman just notes. The important part is I color code. I've been doing this since I was a kid. When I actually have written a scene, I color code it red. Anything that I don't end up using, because, you know, sometimes there's scenes that just don't end up happening, I color code purple. And anything that I haven't written is in black. Check out the video, like I said. I will explain my outlining process more in detail. But what ends up happening when I write a series is at some points, I will get ideas that I don't realize are for the next book because I thought I could fit them into this book. But actually, no, I was writing way too much. And so now I have to write another book. And so I just need to go and delete them because it's getting overwhelming seeing like a ton of like bricks of black text and being like, I didn't write something. And I'm like, no, girl, that's for book 3. Like, relax. I already have a document for book 3, which book 3 is called Safer Graves. Book 1 is Seventh Virtue. Book 2, Sunless Ground. Book 3 is Safer Graves. I did not want book 2 and 3 to have the same like 2 letters like SG, but it's just whatever. I couldn't get away from it, and I don't care. So I'm gonna go copy and paste any Safer Graves notes into the document. Just delete them out of the Sunless Ground notes. Most of them are already in here. I just need to delete them from the Seventh Virtue notes. I don't know why I've been like so emotionally attached to these notes that are just stressing me out being in the wrong document. I was gonna say good morning, good afternoon. It's literally almost 2:30 off, but I have had a very busy morning. I've been working on a lot of volunteer stuff today, and so it's literally like 2:30. I also was doing a bit of freelance work. So now it's time to relax. So I'm literally going to play Stardew for like a half hour. And then I am hoping to write. I made a lot of progress on outlining the rest of my book. It's like done now. The outline has been fleshed out. I have notes. I came up with a whole bunch of ideas. I'm feeling good about it. But I just need to like decompress for a second, you know, relax a little because I really haven't done that at all this morning. And then I am going to jump into writing. I don't want to go right into it. Okay, so in typical Rachel fashion, I did not film an outro to this vlog and I kind of left you on a cliffhanger about how writing went. It is now almost the end of March. Honestly, this was an incredibly productive vlog. I don't think I can make that clear in this one clip, but the amount of work I did in this one vlog is the equivalent to the amount of work that I have done in like the last half a year. The reverse outline for Sunless Ground, it's all completed, and right now I think I'm on like the 3rd or 4th to last kind of chunk of like scenes. I think there'll be chapters, really. What I did is under like a log line describing what the overarching chapter would be about, I slotted every note that I have that's relevant to that chapter so I don't have to search in my documents. Everything that I could possibly need to write the end of my book is now in one place. It's very helpful. Literally just bullet points, and that's so helpful in having all of the information I need in one spot. So thank God that I did all this heavy lifting because I haven't written in a few weeks. I am so happy that I did it because now it's been a few weeks. I don't remember what I was supposed to do. My memory's terrible. I have the document. The outline has every single instruction I could possibly need. So drafting, I can't remember what chapter I'm on, but I'm well past 200,000 words now. It must be over 210,000 words, the manuscript. I'm not checking all that consistently, but the end of the book is going really well. Let me know what you guys have been writing. This was a pretty good look at the first chunk of my year. So as we kind of finish up the first quarter of the year, I wanted to post this video so you could see what I was up to. But I will see you guys in another video. Bye.